Hallo, heute tier list. I love Hitman, the trilogy. It's very good. I have mastery level 20 in every location, even in Hitman 3 now. And I am so passionate about this franchise that I thought, you know what? I want to make a tier list of all the locations. Okay? So let's begin. Booyah chaka. Okay. Yes. So we begin with Hitman 1 locations, then Hitman 2, then Hitman 3. I think that makes sense. Oh no, let's do it like this. The following 2 locations I will not count, 3 locations. I will not count ICA Facility because the maps are decent, but they're just small tutorial levels. I will not count Hawke's Bay because that's the tutorial level of Hitman 2. And I will not count Romania because it's not a real Hitman level. Okay? I will not count them. They don't count as good or bad. They're just not real locations. Okay. Start with S tier. So the best locations in the entire trilogy, this should not come as a surprise to anyone. Everyone says so, and it's true. That is Sapienza, and it's Miami. And before I continue, let me explain to you, because trust me, I think about this trilogy, I think this is one of my favorite games of all time. I play it so much, and I always think about what makes me like a location. And I'm gonna explain it. What makes a Hitman map good? And you will see that this, what I will define now, will go through this entire video like a red string. Okay, I will explain it. As follows. A Hitman location is always supposed to be divided into 2 parts. The relatable part and the unrelatable part. Period. That is how you make a good Hitman location. Let me explain it some more. In a good level, you start in an area that is usually known to the average human being, like a city, a street, just something normal that we all know, a shop, whatever. And then, as you explore the location, you slowly advance into areas that are unrelatable or unknown, more mysterious and more exciting. That can be a research facility or a construction site of a skyscraper, you know, things like that. That's the unrelatable side. A good Hitman map always has these 2 sides, plus always, of course, having some sort of scope, a sort of size. Because the difference between this Hitman and Hitman Blood Money is that the maps are bigger. And that's good. A good big map is good, no homo. So yes, Sapienza is the second mission of Hitman 1. It is incredible, and it's just, there's nothing to argue here. Everyone loves this location. It is divided into so many different areas. You have the main city part, then you have the church city part, then you have the hacienda. Traficantes tondus dans la hacienda. Tu racontes de la mierda. Yeah, so this is very good. Then you have the underground research lab. Again, unrelatable, right? Some sort of gangster, La Cosa Nostra, hacienda style, more unknown, but a villa can be known, but then even more unrelatable, an underground research facility. So Sapienza offers everything that a good Hitman map has to offer. Miami is godlike. Just like Sapienza, it is huge. It has the relatable part, a sort of a racetrack, which is already exciting to me. So it starts off already exciting, but that's kind of relatable. And then unrelatable, a weapons research facility. By the way, this will be, I will say the word facility a lot in this video because usually the part that's unknown or unrelatable is always some sort of research facility. And Miami has tons of areas that you discover as you go. And I think that's really what makes a map good, is that not only is it known or unknown, but there are these micro areas, small little locations that you find after already having like 20 hours in one map, and you're like, I have never been here. This is amazing. Okay? So Sapienza and Miami are definitely up there. They're the only 2 S tier locations in the franchise. Sadly, maybe you've noticed, not a single location from Hitman 3 is S tier. There are good locations there, but generally Hitman 3, unfortunately, has the weakest overall maps. Overall, but there's still good stuff in there. Now, rank A. We're gonna put Paris. Listen, Paris, when Paris came out, I was still in China. it was like an episodic release. I had 60 hours in this map alone, and I still like it. It is such a good map. It has verticality. Verticality is always good because think of it like this. Because the Hitman maps are so huge, it wouldn't be good if they're shaped like it's like a baguette, right? If going from the one side of the baguette to the other side of the baguette, if you would have to walk that would be annoying. That's why you try to make it tighter, vertical, and circular, that you have a lot of ways that lead into each other. That's all in terms of layout that's important for a map, right? You don't want the player to having to walk endless amounts of stairs up and down, for example. And Paris, amazing verticality, great locations. The known part, a sort of big fashion show, already exciting to me, but that's more relatable. Unrelatable, hidden auction where the elites kind of versteigern crazy shit. Okay? So Paris, really amazing. Let's go to the next, let's go through all the Hitman 1 maps. Paris, the Sapienza, now Marrakesh. No, how will I do this? No. I want to put another map. Okay, Hokkaido. Everyone says Hokkaido is like amazing, best map ever made. I don't think it's the best map ever made, but I do think it's a really good map. I'm not personally a huge fan of the hard gating, because what's great about Hitman is that when you have an outfit, you can go into certain areas. Hokkaido has almost like hard gating, where it's like, without the outfit, you can't get in. It makes things more difficult, but I found it a bit too restrictive. But still, it's an A rank map. It's amazing. Known part, sort of hospital resort in the mountains of Japan. Unknown part, a medical facility where they keep some sort of crazy motherfucker alive, right? Known, unknown. Very important to have this distinction. Next up, Marrakesh. I'm gonna put this map in B tier. Now Marrakesh on paper should be worse, because like I said before, I said in terms of layout, Hitman maps should be circular and you should get from A to B in a sort of dynamic way. Marrakesh doesn't really have that, because Marrakesh is essentially 2 locations and corridors in between. It's a very corridory map. Huh? It's like you have the Swedish embassy and then you have the school that's turned into a military compound. Both locations unknown, so 2 interesting locations. And in between you have the corridors, the public streets, the markets, etc. So in terms of layout, it shouldn't be that great, but I really enjoyed that map because I thought it was fun sneaking around the embassy and sneaking around the school. I think there are cool mission stories in that map. It's a mid-tier, but it's a good map, for sure. And then Colorado. Colorado, I've seen this in many lists as being called the worst map in almost the entire trilogy. I really disagree. The Colorado is rather small, and it has the disadvantage of there not being known and unknown, right? This is like one of the marks of a good location. But the reason why I put Colorado here is Colorado only has unknown, which means you already start in a out in the boonies, military, militia gathering place. But the reason why I like it is because, first of all, it's a lot of content packed into a small space, and I think there's a lot of hidden complexity to that map, because you would think a small map, there isn't that much to figure out, but this map is divided into so many different areas where you can only get into with certain outfits that I believe it works quite well. And I think it's a very intense map, one of the most intense. And having 4 targets is also pretty cool. So like I said, it's not S tier, it's not A tier, it's B. It's middle of the line. Now we come to the worst map of Hitman 1. That's Bangkok. Why? If you've listened to me so far, you know why. Very simple. There is nothing unknown to this map. There is nothing unrelatable to this map. The entire location is literally just, it's a hotel. There's nothing cool to find, no underground crazy shit, nothing cool, nothing hidden. It's just boring. In this map, you will find nothing that you can't find in real life. Okay? And like in average life. And also what the issue was with this one is that wait, I think I forgot it, but yeah, there's just I remember this map has a really good presentation, but then once you get into it, for example, Hitman Blood Money, there was a hotel mission there that had one room where there was some fucking orgy going on, some crazy shit, some drug addicts or something. And when I played through it the first time, I was also thinking, man, a hotel, I can't wait for all the hidden shit that's gonna be in here, the fun stuff. But it's just not in there. No hotel room in this entire hotel has something cool, something interesting for you. It's just very boring, it lacks ideas. I don't think they worked on this that much in terms of how to populate this map. It's a disappointment all the way through. You will never find anything be like, whoa, what is this? It's just not in here. Okay, so I think these are all the locations of Hitman 1. Like I said in the beginning, we're not counting the tutorial levels. Now Hitman 2, as I said before, it starts with a bang. Miami is incredible, absolutely S tier. Then I think the second map is Mumbai or Santa Fortuna. Let's do Mumbai first. Mumbai is amazing. Mumbai is one of the best maps in the game. It is jam-packed with content. It is one of those maps where after I finish it for like 3 times already, the 4th time playing through it is when I discovered that there is a abandoned train station in the map. And I was thinking, what the hell is this? And this is what makes a good map, bro. You keep finding shit. This is what makes it good. So it has relatable part, city, unrelatable, a skyscraper that's in construction with a movie set, plus abandoned train station that is turned into some sort of headquarter. Amazing map, really a success all the way through. Santa Fortuna, this map is also A rank, but people don't like it, and I think there's a good reason for it. Santa Fortuna is rather disjointed. And that means that a good layout means that the different parts of the map are well connected and intertwined. And Santa Fortuna also doesn't have that. The different locations are very separate from each other, and you have to walk a lot to get to them. So the layout isn't great. You have the city, you have like a harbor part of the city, a construction site, hacienda, and jungle, and then coca plantation shit. I really like this map simply for the fact that I think each location still has so much detail and so much love in it that I can live with it being so disjointed. It has that problem, true, but it makes up for it by having so much funny stuff in it. And it's just great. It is just fucking a great map. Now, we come to the possibly worst map of the entire trilogy. And that is Whittleton Creek. I was hyped for this because everyone told me, yo, this is like a reference to the suburb level in Blood Money, which was a great mission. But this one just fails all across the board. It's so trash in every aspect. First of all, the mission is too small. Secondly, so in terms of location, there's not much in there. You can't even get into every house. Nothing, this map hides nothing from you. There's nothing interesting to find. You can't even get into every house, and every house is just a house. There's no house with like a serial killer in it, or with a basement where he's torturing someone, anything interesting. It has nothing. Only like one underground tunnel that connects to houses. It's just boring. What's also annoying is that after you kill the targets in this mission, you always have to get the intel, which is always annoying. But this map is just a failure. It only has the relatable part. The unrelatable part is completely missing, like in Bangkok, bang the cock. But it also has it's very small. There's nothing interesting in it. Boring as fuck. A complete failure. That's Whittleton Creek. Whittleton Madik. Anything else to say about this? Yeah. It's just a bunch of houses. And you can't even get into every house. And none of the houses offer you anything interesting. Absolute disaster. Then, Isle of Skyle. So for now, for Hitman 2, we have 2 maps on A rank, 1 on S rank, 1 on D rank, and then Isle of Skyle, where should I go? It's definitely up here. Isle of Skyle is incredible. It is so amazing. Basically, the entire map is already an unknown, meaning it's an island where like the elites, it's like Epstein Island, where the elites come and they gather and they fuck bitches, get money. So this is an interesting location from the get-go, but then you have great verticality, amazing layout of the map. You can climb pipes and everything. It's so cool. Plus you have underground catacombs. It's almost S tier. If it was a bit bigger and offered a bit more, it would be S tier. Because the S tier ranks are like, you go above and beyond the Call of Duty. It's like S tier ranks. S tier maps are unreasonably good. A tier ranks are, they deliver everything. S just means it's ridiculously good. But Isle of Guile is amazing and a brilliant ending to Hitman 2. But then 2 more locations were released as DLC, and I think I streamed those on the main channel. So it's New York and Haven Island. When I heard that they were gonna release a bank, I thought, amazing idea. In New York, bruh, amazing city. Unfortunately, New York is on the same level of shit as Woodland Creek. This map is so boring. Every corridor looks the same. Like, I'm sorry, if the location you choose has boring corridors, then don't choose that location maybe. If it's not interesting in real life, then don't make it, then it's a failure. Every place looks the same. There are not many options in here. The location is overall also small. And then, so it's very repetitive in its layout. And then the only unknown location it has is the vault, but the vault is just one room. So when I got in there, I was thinking, that's it, there's nothing extra to this map. It's literally just that. It's very weak, very disappointing, very small, and yeah. Okay. Now, Haven Island. I would put this. Fuck, did I not just, oh my god. I fucked up, bro. I fucked up. But that's okay. Who cares? Now you see it. Now you see me? Haven Island, I would put it in B rank. Because Haven Island is similar to Colorado in a way. It's that it's a small location. But they decided to put as much shit as possible into that small location. You have a beach hotel resort, which is fun, relatable. Then unrelatable, you guessed it, underground research facility. It never gets old, and it works. A lot of shit in this small map, a lot of fun to be had, and it just works great. So it's a good map. Now we are getting to Hitman 3. The game that just released, then everyone is praising, oh my god, it's so good, it's amazing. Listen, I love this trilogy. I love the foundation of the game, but Hitman 3 is the worst of the trilogy. It's just the worst. And it starts with an absolute disaster. Not an absolute disaster, it's not D, but Dubai, man did it look good in the trailers. But man is it a boring map, so undercooked. Dubai suffers the same problem as New York in one way, in that every corridor and every area, every hallway looks the same. The moment you start that mission and you get into the hotel, from that point on, you know what the entire map will look like. No more surprises await you. So there's no sense of, nothing will reward your exploration in terms of visually interesting places. It's just a hotel. It's also not divided into relatable, unrelatable. It's just a hotel. Like Bangkok. Nothing cool to find. Nothing unrelatable. Nothing that you will see and think, whoa, that's fucked up, or whoa, that's crazy. It's just boring all the way through. It looks hallways samey, rooms all samey, everything samey. And it also has the problem that because it has so much verticality that you could almost argue you could turn it like this, and then it's baguette again. Yeah, do you get it? And you traverse from the lowest floor to the highest floor via climbing fucking endless amounts of pipes and walking endless amounts of stairs. So the layout of this map is also not that good. It's too baguette-y. Dubai, very weak. And when I played that map, I think a Hitman game, good games have to start with a bang. Like, think about it. Hitman 1 started with Paris, which is really good, and then it had Sapienza, which is S tier. Hitman 2 started with Miami, bro, and then Mumbai and Santa Fortuna. Hitman 3 starts with one of the worst map of the entire trilogy, and that's Dubai. It's good for trailers. They used it well because it's just cool, right? Dubai, whoa, skyscraper. But man, did they fuck this up. Then Dartmoor. Oh boy. Did they hype this one up? You can be a detective, isn't that creative? Suck my fucking dick. Dartmoor is a failure as a Hitman map. Here's why. First of all, it's tiny. No homo. It's like the size of a Hitman Blood Money map. Small shit. Number two, the location, the house looks like they reused assets from Paris to make the house. Oh, but it has hidden rooms. There's nothing in the hidden rooms. This house also has no division between known and unknown. It's just a villa. It's a mansion. That's it. Nothing interesting that you will find there. Number four. The great thing about the Hitman games is replayability. This stupid ass detective story that they hyped up, you're just taking pictures of fucking items in the environment, and once you've done this once, it's not interesting to do it again. You made a different game in a Hitman map. That doesn't work. There's no replayability, and there's not much content to be found in this map. Very boring location. Failure all the way through. Yeah. It's funny, you know, that the Hitman franchise, Hitman 1, 2, and 3, I mean the Assassination Trilogy, it kind of went the opposite way of how a trilogy should go in terms of budget and scope. Hitman 1, they had Square Enix, and all the locations were pretty zaftig. Hitman 2, I think they lost the publisher midway through, so the budget got fucked, and then they had less locations and not as good. And now Hitman 3, no publisher at all, so even less money, and it definitely shows in the locations too. So where you would expect a franchise to get better with each iteration, Hitman 3 actually gets worse with each iteration, which is very sad. So now we already have 2 C rank maps in Hitman 3, and these are the first 2. I think you guys will believe me when I tell you, when I started the game, I was really sad. I was thinking, wow, there are 5 locations in the game. There are 6 locations in the game. I already knew that Romania was not going to be a full one, so 5. 2 of them are trash. That only leaves Berlin, Chongqing, and Mendoza to be good. And the good news is, these 3 maps are pretty damn good. So, let's go Berlin. Berlin is B tier. I'm thinking A or B tier, but the reason I'm going for B tier is generally because the Hitman 3 maps, all of them, offer less unique mission stories than in the previous games. There are more hidden mission stories there, but they still are not as detailed and as fun as in the other games. They're just not. There's not remotely as much content in there as in the other 2 games. It's just, it reeks of just lack of budget, lack of time, lack of commitment, I don't know. There's just not much in there. Also, the Berlin map, although it's big, I don't like that the map screen is kind of misleading you into thinking it's even bigger. And also there's a problem of too many stairs. There's one stairway in the end of the club that is like 6 levels and that you have to walk up and down. It's boring. It's not a good layout. But generally, a club in Berlin, in the boonies, good idea. Very cool location. The unknown part is like, there's another biker shop there. Not super interesting. I mean, sure, they grow like drugs and shit. It's okay. It's good. It's a good Hitman map. Absolutely. Now, Chongqing. Also, I thought A or B. Chongqing is a perfect example of what I mentioned in the beginning of the division between known and unknown, because you have the city which looks super cool, and the underground research facility, unknown. Yeah, city known. I think I said yeah, city known, facility unknown. So on paper it should be on A rank because it also says good size, no homo, and just overall really fun. But why am I putting it in B rank? Because Chongqing is the only Hitman map that I ever felt like it lied to me. It lied to me. What do I mean by that? Usually, Hitman is a game that communicates very well to you what you can do and what you can't do. Meaning, you see pipes on the side of a house, you can crawl them. You see certain types of ledges, you know that you can climb them. Chongqing is the only map that actively restricts you and that breaks this communication that the franchise has established in the past. Like, you would think you could climb that, in this map you can't. You would think that you could scale that, in this map you can't. Usually, I never have a problem with the communication of the gameplay, environmental communication. I see something, I know, I can climb this and I can climb this. Chongqing, I was facing the issue several times where I was standing in front of something thinking, why can't I climb this? Why can't I go up here? Why is this restricting me? And yeah, that's why this map goes into B rank. Still very good, but just the map pissed me off a little because so many things aren't possible. Yeah. And then Mendoza is the redemption arc for Hitman 3. This is the only map in Hitman 3 that I would put up here in A rank. It is really fucking good. It is beautiful. It has very unique and different locations. Hacienda, then the wine fields, then a grape press. I don't know what all this shit is called, but it's just an amazing location. It is huge. It is fun. There's shit tons of things to do. And it's a very big success. Very big success. So yeah, I say Facility, Romania, Hogs Bay. I won't count these. These are not real locations. Especially Romania, which is just utter trash. Doesn't even fit into the game. Nah, whatever. I feel like in Hitman 3, they tried to do new stuff, but not because they wanted to try new stuff necessarily, but because they tried to blind us with the fact that they are lacking budget and lacking time to make something on the same level as the previous two games. So they made Dartmoor. You can play as a detective. Yeah, it doesn't work for this franchise, and the map is not good. And then Dubai, wow, and you start out on the skyscraper. It's just. Then they added these one-time shortcuts and these shortcuts that can only be opened from one side. And I hate the keypads, for example. They're the worst. Oh, it's so bad. I hate the keypads. Why do I have to memorize this shit? Just let them, once I figure out the number, let them be open for all future playthroughs. Like the shortcut things. Now I have to remember every fucking keypad number. Anyways, Hitman 3 is the worst. Hitman 2 is very good. Hitman 1 is excellent. And with that, I yield my time. Yeah, was fun. This is my Hitman map tier list. Peace out.